And what I'm going to do next is this. After listening this initial recording delay, the customers are deciding to get what type of service, right? So some of them would like to get a technical support, some of them would like to get sales information, and some of them would like to know about their order status. So at this point, I am just going to add a decide module from basic process panel. And according to the text given in the question, so you see, when I select the last module unstore and introduce a decide module to here, the connection will be done automatically. However, my friends, I'm just going to do this. I mean, I do not want to make my application very complicated. So I'm just going to move that decide module here. And that decide module is going to be named as determine call type. Call type. Now, the name of the module is not in the question form this time. This is not a question. Determine call type. Why? Because the answer is not a true false. What is the answer? The answer is an n-way by chance, because we know that 76% of the clients are they would like to get technical support, and another percentage, I think it is 16% of them. So let me show you that. So we have this 76, 16, and 8% respectively in the text. So what we are going to do is this. We are going to add these percentages. The first percentage is 76. Then we are going to add another percentage, which is 16. I should not add another percentage because automatically the remaining percentage is going to be assigned to the third option. Okay, so the remaining percentage is 8 in any way. So the summation should be equal to 100. Therefore, I do not need to write anything. So I have these 3 exits here. First exit, second exit here, and else exit, the third exit. The first and the second exit here are respectively having 76 and 16% chances. And the third exit, else exit, has the remaining percentage, which is 8%. By the way, you can define these percentages with rational numbers as well, not just integers. So what happens to the customers who cannot enter the system because there is not a trunk line available? So these customers must leave the system immediately, and we need to count them as well. Because if you read the text, you will realize that the manager of the system, so whoever, they would like to get statistical information about the number of customers who attempted to get a call but cannot enter the system because of the trunk lines. Okay, because we have 26 trunk lines. Therefore, if the clients cannot enter the system before they leave the system immediately, I am just going to count their number as well throughout the simulation, how many attempted calls are rejected. So I say the name of this module here is record rejected calls. Okay, record rejected calls, and the type of the statistic that we collect is a counter type of statistic. And every entity that goes through this record module is going to increase the rejected calls counter. So I do not need to write counter. So if I write rejected calls, the name of the counter statistic will be rejected calls, and it is going to increment the number of rejected calls, every client that goes through here. Then after a customer is rejected because the customer cannot find a trunk line available, they are going to be disposed. They are going to leave the system immediately. So the name of this disposal module is disposal of rejected calls. Rejected calls. Okay. So in the textbook, it's not using plural verbs. Okay. So I'm just going to do the same, and I'm just going to change that name here to record rejected call as well. Okay. Now we need to continue with what is happening to each of these type of services. So if anybody wants to get a technical support, what happens? So let's see what happens if anybody wants to get a technical support. So here, from 76%, there must be an exit. And let's go back our text and read. It says, the technical support, if somebody gets technical support, they first need a second recording. Okay, they listen a second recording. And after listening this recording, they are going to choose the product type that they are going to select. So actually here, they are going to start by a secondary recording delay. There must be a secondary recording delay here. Again, we would like to get some statistics about it, right? So how many people are listening the second recording delay at any time? Therefore, we are going to apply these store and unstore processes to that delay process as well. However, before that, I am just going to create an assign module here, and I'm just going to connect that 76% to that assign module. And the name of this assign module is going to be assign tech call. So these calls are technical calls. They would like to get technical support. Therefore, they are called tech calls. Assign tech call entity type and picture. Entity type and picture. So I am just going to use this module here to change the entity type. So the name of the entity, remember all entities are called incoming calls, right? All entities called incoming calls. However, from this point on, this type of calls, because after they have selected to get the technical support, these type of calls who select this path, okay, this way, they are going to be called tech calls. So the name of the entity is going to change. So I change the entity type to a tech call, and let's change the entity picture as well. So I add another assignment here, and the entity picture is going to change from picture report to picture of red balls. So these tech calls are going to be seen as red balls in this simulation. Okay. So I have chosen the picture of red balls here. I have changed the name of the entity. Now I need to create a delay once again. But before creating that delay, again, I am going to use that store operation from the advanced process panel. So I am just going to store. So the name of the store module will be store for tech call recording delay. Store for tech call recording delay. And the type of the storage that I use, the type is a storage that I use. And the name of the storage is going to be tech call recording delay storage. Tech call recording delay storage. After the caller enters into storage, they enter in a process, and the name of this process is what? It is tech call recording delay. Tech call recording delay process. And the action that is need to be chosen in this delay should be in this process is a delay action, because again, they are just listening a recording. They are not going to use any resource, any employee, any agent. Therefore, we need to write what? We are going to check our textbook, the distribution of the time of the duration of this process is uniform between 0.1 and 0.5. Therefore, we say there is a uniform distribution here in minutes between 0.1 and 0.5. So the second recording delay is uniformly distributed in minutes between 0.1 and 0.5 minutes. So we added that. So let me check once again. It is 0.1 to 0.5. Now, after this record is heard, after they listen that record, they are going to get unstored. They are going to get unstored from the advanced process panel. They are going to get out of that second storage. So we say that the name of this unstore process is what? Unstore from tech call recording delay. unstore from take call recording delay. And from what type of unstore operation we are doing? We are unstoring the callers or entities from a storage. And from which storage we unstore them? Not the initial recording delay storage, right? We are unstoring them from the take call recording delay storage this time. So here it goes. So we have the unstored callers here. Now we are just going to continue here. After they listen this recording, my friends, after they listen to this recording, again, they need to decide about which type of product that they are going to take a service from. Okay, so they are going to get a technical support, but about which type of product? Product 1, product 2, or product 3? Again, we are going to use a decide module, which is 3 ways by chance, and with 25, 34, and 41% of the callers, they are going to be separated out to get technical support from each product type. So what I am going to do is this. I am just going to, after selecting this unstore here from the basic process panel, I introduce a decide module again here. And in that decide module, I am going to change the name of the decide module as determine product type. Okay, determine product type. And then again, this is going to be an n way by chance. I am just going to add the percentages here. Remind ourselves with the percentages, 25, 34. So we write the 25 as the first percent, 34 is the second percent. I do not need to write the third percentage because it is automatically going to be 41%. And click OK. I am just going to take these numbers to here to understand better which exit belongs to which percentage. Now, after this point, what happens? After this point, we are going to direct the callers with a technical support employee or technical support person. Okay? For example, the callers who would like to get technical support about the first product type, they are going to be directed to technical support guys who are involved with the first type of product. Now, in the end of the text here, you will see that 2 of the technical support employees are devoted to product type 1. So actually, if you want to get a technical support about product 1, you can only speak one of these 2 guys. So you need to get into a queue. Okay, if any of them is not available, then you need to get into a queue. And when you get into the queue, you are going to wait for a little. But if any of these 2 guys is available, then you are not going to wait at all. So therefore, I am just going to do what? I am just going to create our famous process module here. Okay. I am going to connect that 25% to this, and the name of the process is going to be process product type 1 take call. Okay, this is just going to be a simple process, but the logic of this process is going to be seize, delay, and release, because we need to seize technical support person, a technical support person who is devoted to product type 1. Okay, so we are going to say that the logic of the action is seize, delay, release, and the name of the resource that we want to seize is take 1. So we are naming the resources technical support 1. How many technical support agents would I like to speak with? Only one of them. Okay, I would like to speak with only one of them. And the duration of this process, as you can see it here, the duration of this process is going to be triangularly distributed with 3, 6, and 18 parameters, okay, independent of the product type. So either product type 1 or 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. The distribution is always triangular in minutes with parameters 3, 6, and 18 here. Okay, so I write this triangular distribution in minutes with parameters 3, 6, and 18. And then we are going to release that technical support guide that is devoted to product type 1. And then we are going to continue. Most probably we are going to leave the system. Okay. Now I have said that there are two technical support guys who are devoted themselves to product 1, right? So this tech 1, the resource tech 1, we have two available resources, right? So where do we change that? From the resource spreadsheet module under the basic process panel, and I need to change the fixed capacity of tech 1 resource to 2. Now I am going to do a trick. Now, instead of determining everything in a slow manner, I am just going to copy that process, select that process and copy it. And I create a duplication of it here. Then I am going to connect that to here and double click on the process. And the name of the process is going to be process product type 2 tech call. And the resource that I would like to seize in this process is called tech2. Okay, the technical support agent 2. So, which means a technical support agent devoted to product type 2. How many of them I need? Again, one of them I need, and the distribution is still the same, 3, 6, 18 triangular distribution, and I click on OK. Now, if you have realized when I copied that process and pasted here, it is automatically written here, but with a yellow colored cell here. That yellow colored cell is giving me a warning that I am making a mistake here because no two processes can have the same name. Okay, they cannot be named with the same name or same label. Therefore, it is giving me a warning, but because I have changed the label to process product type 2 tech code, now that error is gone. Now, you have also seen that I have changed the name of the resource that we want to seize here. So it is automatically written here as well. So there is another resource here. It's a technical support person that is devoted to product type 2. And how many of them do we have? According to the text, we have 3 of them. Okay, we have 3 of them. And I change the capacity of this person, of this resource as well. Now I am just going to do the same trick and I am going to copy another process here. This time process product type 2 tech call. And you see I have an error here. It is warning me. You cannot name 2 different processes with the same name, it says. So I'm going to change the third process name and the resource that we utilize here. But before that, I'm just going to connect it here. Now, my friends, let me change the name of the process product type 2 to 3 here. And the resource that I would like to seize here is called tech3, the third technical support, agents who are devoted to the third product. But I'm just going to seize one of them. But according to the text, by the way, I do not change the delay distribution. According to the text, we have 3 of these third type of technical support guys. And that's it basically. So we have done everything that we can do for people who would like to get a technical support. Now, once this technical support dialog is complete, once they complete this process according to the text, they are leaving the system immediately. They are leaving the system immediately. So I'm just going to leave this part in the end. I'm just going to do this part just in the end. So at this point, the ending of the tails of these processes are going to remain as open. I am going to connect these endings later to other processes and then in the end, ultimately to the disposal. Okay, to the disposal. Okay. Now, I just want to show you something here. As you see, this is a process. Take call recording delay is a process, right? So the name, if you double click on the box, you get the name of a process here. And this is a process here as well. Okay, this is a process here as well. But on the top of these three processes, I have a horizontal T line, but on the top of this process, I do not have something like that. Or on the top of this process, I do not have something like that. Why? And the difference is in this process, we are using resources. Okay? So that is the difference. If you have a limited number of resources, there will always be queue in that process. So that's the main reason. So why do we have two different processes with a T line among the other one, and the other one we do not have anything? So the reason is basically in that process, in these processes, we are utilizing resources. We are seizing, delaying, and releasing. If you see seize, there will always be queue. Okay? So if you want to memorize, instead of learning the logic, if you want to memorize these things, if there is a seized resource there, then there will always be queues. Okay? In fact, you see there is another queue here because this is a seized process. Even though we are not going to see anyone in this queue, because why? People can only enter the system when trunk lines are available. If the trunk lines were not available, then there would be queue, but I mean, if all of the trunk lines are busy, then nobody will enter the system in any way. So we are not going to observe anyone in this queue. Okay? So nobody can enter the queue because we are not allowing them to enter the queue when the system is full. However, you are seeing a queue here. A queue animation is seen here. Okay. So now let's try to focus on the people who would like to get a sales information. So remember now, we have said that 16% of the people here would like to get a sales information. So what I am going to do is this. I am just going to copy this module here because remember, I was changing the name of the entity and the picture of the entity if the caller would like to get a technical support. Now I am going to do the same with a different name and a different color of wall for the people who would like to get a sales information. Now I'm going to copy this assign module here. Again, you see I have an assign module here with a same name. I get a warning. So I connect the 16% to that, and I will change the name of this assign module to assign sales call, entity type and picture. And I'm going to edit. The entity type is going to be changed into what? It is going to be changed into sales call. Not tech call, but sales call. And the picture is going to be changed into a green ball this time. Okay? So we have enough colors here. We have enough colors. So green ball is going to be selected. And that's it. After that, remember now, if you read the text, it says sales calls are automatically routed to a sales staff. So this time there is not a recording delay. A secondary recording delay is not offered to these callers. They are immediately going to be directed to a sales staff. How many salesperson do we have in this system? There are 4 salesperson in this system available. And if they cannot find any salesperson available, they are just going to get into a queue. So again, we have a seize, delay, release process here. Okay, a process with seize, delay, and release logic once again. So I am just going to add a process in the end of this assign module, and the name of the process is going to be process sales call. Process sales call. Okay. And it is just going to be a seize, delay, release type of action here. And we are going to add the name of the resource that we are going to use here. The name of the resource is going to be sales. Okay, sales. and the number of sales agents that we want to seize is 1. Okay, every caller who enters in this queue would like to speak with only one salesperson. And the distribution of this process is going to be what? It is, let me show you, it is triangularly distributed between 4 and 45 minutes with a mode of 15. So we say the delay type is in minutes, triangularly distributed with 4 at minimum, 15 most likely, and 45 in the worst case. So this is the maximum that we write here, okay? Now, when I click on OK here, I am done with the process, okay? After this process, again, the callers are going through the exit. Just like in the other processes here, in the above processes here, the callers are going through exit. But I forgot about something now. Actually, not I forgot, but I mean, what is the thing that I need to do next? So, is there something that I need to add as an information into this process? Maybe giving a hit, not about the process, but about the resource. What should I do about the resource? So the resource is called sales. So how many sales agents do we have? I need to change that. Now from the resource module here, once again, I have 4 sales agents, right? 4. So in this system, there are 4 sales agents are working at any time. So I need to change that.